What's up, everyone? I'm the Astro Mama, and for today's Cancer full moon, I have a special ritual you can do. All you need is a smartphone or a laptop. So the first thing you want to do is go to your app store and download this app right here if you're on a smartphone. It's called Time Passages. It's free. Or you can go to Google and just type in Time Passages and you will get a website. Right. So once you're in the app or on the website, you're going to go to add a new chart. And I titled this one Bestie, last name Astro. So you're going to type in your birth information. So your name, your last name, your birth date, this close to the time as you can get from when you were born. Where you were born, I used Denver, Colorado as an example. And the house calculations for the work I do, you'd write Placidus. Once you create your chart, you want to look and see where you have 13 degrees Cancer. So for this person, they have 13 degrees Cancer in the first house. Look and see what house that's in for you. I'm going to go over each house and what this could mean if the full moon is illuminating that area of your life. So my head's over here right under Ascendant ASC. If you have Cancer at 13 degrees in the first house, that could mean that this full moon is illuminating your identity, your sense of self, sometimes your physical vessel, maybe your appearance, the way that you look, your drive, your assertiveness, and the way that you take radical ownership of your life. A journal prompt I'll give you, or ritual I give you, is to grab your journal and ask, what are some limiting beliefs around who I am? Or what are some parts of me that I'm scared of, I feel shameful of, or I feel like aren't good enough, maybe they're not deemed worthy by society, that I'm ready to release the stories around so I can be who I really am in 2026. We're gonna go down and to the right. If you have 13 degrees Cancer, where my head is, moon is illuminating your second house. So you might be going through some lessons around your financial health, how you spend your money, and also how you earn income. And ask yourself, in what ways maybe am I overspending, or in what ways am I underspending? Where am I putting my money into the wrong things? And to be the person I want to become, where does my money get to go to foster that as a result? What kind of identity shifts do I get to have and prove with the way that I spend my income? Just asking for a raise or pricing your services in a way that is actually aligned with the skill set that you provide. Your 13 degrees Cancer is in the third house of your natal chart. This could indicate an illumination around releasing energies or thoughts or methodologies, or belief systems that have to do with communication, sometimes technology, short-term travel, siblings, and neighbors. Explore or question some of the things that you learned in an intellectual way, and if they're really resonating with who you are now. If you have 13 degrees Cancer in the fourth house, where my head is located in your natal chart, then this could be illuminating themes around your home environment, your immediate family, and that which you hold sacred and private to your heart, also your roots or your lineage and ancestors. This could be a good full moon to think about your home, your dwelling, your family, maybe your fur babies or your real babies. What is being illuminated to you around how you can show up differently in those environments and really prioritize them to be as sacred as they are. If the Cancer full moon is illuminating your fifth house of creativity, children, and sometimes romance, I would invite you to explore what limiting beliefs you have around sharing your fullest creative expression with the world. This could be a good few days, next 3 days or so, to launch a cool project that feels more aligned with who you really are, to maybe learn how to play an instrument, maybe do some improv comedy, or, we all have these creative expressions of us that really want to be born, but we're so scared of maybe being perfect or maybe being judged or maybe not being good enough. And this could specifically be beneficial if it's something that you've always wanted to do since you were a child, or if it's something that you want to do with your children if you're a parent. If you have 13 degrees Cancer in your sixth house, which is where my head is right now, your health, wellness, routines, and overall well-being could be illuminated right now. You might have a little cold or a runny nose, but even if you don't, this is a good opportunity to take inventory of your health and wellness practices to ensure that they're aligned with what you're cultivating and creating instead of old versions of yourself that are no longer serving. If you'll have 13 degrees Cancer, where my head is right now, this is the seventh house, and this could indicate your romantic relationship or business partnership or absolute best friend ride or die relationship is being illuminated at this time. And whether it is the dynamic between you and another, or it's your own dynamic within yourself and how you relate to a beloved or how you relate to dating and relationships, I'm curious what it might look like for you at this time to explore what outdated limiting beliefs or conditioning have I brought into this connection, or have I brought into what it is I'm trying to create that are no longer serving me or are not aligned with this new paradigm that I'm entering. Maybe the new paradigm the world is entering too, and deconditioning gender norms and things like that when it comes to partnership. If you have 13 degrees Cancer in the 8th house, this could be illuminating your marriage. This could be illuminating shared or joint finances, death, rebirth, and transformation, and also inheritances, investments, and trusts. It could be that maybe you have been recently gifted an inheritance or a trust, or you could be wanting to create something like that for your children, or maybe you and your partner, especially if you're in a marriage or just a very monogamous long-term relationship, could be exploring how you want to invest together, how you want to share your resources and make your money work for you, so that with the Cancer full moon, you feel safe and secure. And we have a lot of confidence when we feel safe and secure. And that's what this moon is really asking us as we head into 2026. If you have 13 degrees Cancer in your 9th house, where my head is right now, that can indicate that your education, your travels, maybe some philosophies or belief systems, sometimes religion and spirituality could be illuminated at this time. This could be a good time to explore what boxes have you allowed yourself to be put in that are feeling restricting or constrictive. How can you, microdose adventure or create space to make sure that you are making every day feel like an adventure or something new, whether it's just listening to a new podcast as you go for a walk, or taking a left instead of a right on your daily run, so you can feel wild and free and connected to something greater than yourself, even if you're going through a challenging time right now. And maybe you might be planning a trip abroad, and if you can't, that's okay. This is just a good time to try to make yourself, or try to invite yourself to feel wild and free in your day-to-day life. If you have 13 degrees Cancer, where my head is right now, in the 10th house of career and public persona and business, you could be presented with opportunities to release old habits and systems and projects that have to do with your professional life. This could be an opportunity to start to explore a rebrand, possibly, if that's on the horizon for you, or just seeing what are some ways I can cultivate safety and security in my business or my job so that I can show up more fully. Because when we feel safe and secure, as a Cancer moon might want to feel, and especially with Capricorn season 2 and so much of the cosmos being in Earth, this could be a really abundant time for you to restructure those areas of your life. You have 13 degrees Cancer, where my head is right now. That means that it's in the 11th house. So it's illuminating your social circle, your sometimes social media, and your community. And it could be inspiring you to create some humanitarian efforts, to create some innovation even in your field of choice, or to just bring the chosen family that you have, or the communities that you're in, of creatives and entrepreneurs and rebellious folks, to your field of awareness, and really spend time cultivating those connections, so that way everybody can feel safe and secure moving into 2026. So, and that you can let your, I don't want to say like let your freak flag fly, but for some reason that's what I'm feeling for this. So take that if it resonates. Right here, we're in the 12th house. If you have 13 degrees Cancer in this house where my head is, that would indicate that your spirituality, dreams, subconscious mind, coping mechanisms, creative outlets, and psychic abilities are being illuminated at this time. You probably are having really crazy dreams. I'm not gonna lie, probably are. But even that, you could just be feeling extra sensitive and intuitive and psychic at this time. This would be a beneficial few days for you to really spend a lot of time in solitude and channel that sensitivity for your own personal growth and expansion, so that you don't feel burnt out trying to give that to others. All right, so happy full moon, everyone. I hope this was an abundant practice for you. Let me know in the comments below if this landed for you. This was much longer than my daily 3-minute videos, but I really felt called to give you a little extra juice today for the first full moon of 2026. I'm sending you all so much love, and you can come back tomorrow for your daily astro weather forecast for the day of January 4th in 3 minutes or less. And I'll also be posting a weekly between Sunday and Monday too for you to tune into. And if you want to go even deeper into your personal transits right now, you can always book a reading with me. The link is in my bio. Much love.